Welcome back to Shadowcast. Tonight, 3 real stories, submitted by real listeners. Not fiction, not rumors. Things that happen to real people. This first story was sent in by a listener named Savannah, writing from rural Georgia. She was only 3 when it happened. Most of what she knows, her mother told her. They lived in a big extended family in rural Georgia. Her father, his 3 brothers, their wives and kids, all under one roof. The house was loud, always full, always someone at the door. Her mother's side had 6 sisters. The 4th one, Aunt Clara, was considered the beauty of the family. Her hair hung in 2 thick braids, all the way past her knees. Clara had grown up mostly in boarding school. Away from home, away from the family. Whenever she came back for breaks, her grandmother fussed over her like she'd been gone for years. Clara started community college. She had one goal: finish her degree. She wasn't interested in relationships, in romance, none of it. Just her studies. That's when a young man named Amir started pursuing her. He told her he came to class just to see her. On the days she didn't show up, he'd leave early too heartbroken to stay. Clara rejected him, gently, firmly. She had no interest. She never knew how deeply that rejection would reach, or how long it would last. Meanwhile, another man, Daniel, had quietly loved Clara for 2 years. He never worked up the nerve to say so. The moment he graduated and landed a job, he went straight to her grandmother with a proposal. The family investigated, approved, and Clara said yes, but only after she finished her degree. Daniel waited. They married in November 2002. The house was full of flowers and noise and family. He searched the neighborhood for an hour. Nothing. By 8 that evening, he called the family, and then the police. They searched all night. Clara was gone. The next morning, a call came from a train depot 2 stops away. A young pregnant woman had been found unconscious on the platform. She'd whispered Daniel's phone number before passing out again. They brought her home. She remembered nothing. And from that day forward, something was wrong. She talked to herself. She laughed at things no one could see. She tried to run constantly. 4 adults couldn't hold her. She had the strength of something that wasn't entirely her. The family moved her into the main house, where there were always people, always eyes on her. She stopped eating, stopped bathing. A local healer was called in. She performed a cleansing, tied a small charm around Clara's wrist. Within a day, Clara was worse. Far worse. One afternoon, Clara shoved her mother and grandmother to the ground, sprinted through the yard, hit the street, and ran directly into traffic, screaming, pregnant, running toward the headlights. A car skidded to a stop 3 feet from her. She collapsed in the road. No one could breathe. That was the moment the family knew. This was no longer something medicine could explain. A trusted spiritual leader was brought in. He told them, "Release her. Don't hold her. She'll lead you to the truth." He placed his hand on her forehead, and she started walking. They followed her 3 blocks to an old cemetery. She walked without hesitation through the gate and collapsed onto a specific grave. She didn't look at any other stone. She went straight to that one. They traced the grave to a young man who had died 3 years earlier. Found his family, a mother and 3 daughters in a small house nearby. When they mentioned Clara's name, The youngest daughter went pale. She'd heard that name before from her brother. He talked about a girl named Clara constantly, the girl he loved more than he could explain, the girl who had married someone else. The day he saw her at school with her husband, he came home, shut his door, and never came out again. Paused 2 seconds. That was Amir, the same young man who had watched Clara from across the classroom, who had left early on the days she didn't come. He had loved her past the point of living. The spiritual leader said he had been drawn to Clara's unbound hair the night she and Daniel rode past the cemetery, her hair loose and flowing. Something in him couldn't let go. The leader said her hair had to be cut, right there at the grave. They cut it all off and buried the cut hair in the earth above where he lay. And slowly, day by day, Clara came back. When she finally woke fully, she thought she'd just had a long sleep. She remembered nothing. The family never told her. 2 months later, she gave birth to a healthy baby boy.